I am here to do my deeper analysis of episode 10 of Shadowhunters, This World Inverted. I'm going to try and be as fair and unbiased as possible, as I said that I would do in my introductory video. So I'm going to try and look at it from a subjective point of view and not as a book reader but as a TV watcher instead. So I'm going to start with the small bits, the bits that don't need really long discussion first, because it'd be easier to get them out of the way. Just basically the bits and pieces I missed in the first thoughts video. The cats. Oh my god, they included the cats. Even if you don't know the cats from the books, you have to admit it was pretty cute that Magnus was a crazy cat person. And if anyone's wondering why they only included it in the parallel universe episode, is because when you think about it, from Magnus's apartment that we've seen in the ordinary universe so far, there isn't really a chance to introduce a cat. Oh no, Luke's injured, but look at my cat Chairman Meow, isn't he so cute? Or we're gonna have to summon this demon and we have to hold hands, but oh look, there's little Chairman Meow, isn't he so sweet? You get what I mean. Not to mention Harry Shum Jr. is allergic to cats, and I think it was very good of him to do even that one scene with the cats if he has to take medication, like he said in a tweet. I mean, we should be grateful that we got the cats at all then, because I don't ever see the casting having gone oh yeah, this guy is really good. Did you see him audition? His dancing background makes his movements for the magic really, really good. I think we should definitely hire him. But he's allergic to cats. I mean, we need Chairman Meow and Church in the season. We should go with someone else. As in, we wouldn't be able to use the cats at all. I mean, he has to take medication for it. It says right here. We wouldn't be able to have Chairman Meow and Church in, at all. You're right. Can you honestly see that happening? Because I couldn't. It's nice of them to think about the book readers and the things we want to see. I think it's better to think about getting the best Magnus than it is getting Chairman Meow and Church in. And as I say, it was good of Harry to take medication and soldier through that episode for us. Because we still got Chairman Meow and Church, even if it was in a different way. And Church was exactly how I'm sure everyone imagined him, being a grumpy shit, just sitting there don't look at me. I've seen the pits of hell. You don't know what I've been through. Stop looking at me. Go away. Go back and look at that little kid in front of Chairman Meow, little pussy. See what I did? But yeah, the cats were great. I loved the inclusion of it. So if you didn't like it, I suppose you didn't like it. But if you wanted to see it more in the season, then I suppose it's just one of those things that can't be helped. Sadly, all of us are born with allergies. Trust me, I know, all of us are born with allergies that hold us back. But I personally would prefer to have Harry as Magnus than I would to prefer to have the cats in there all the time. I think it's more important to have Harry there as Magnus, because he's brilliant. Next point of call, the Magnus's TV show, or TV ad. It was just... It was fantastic. I loved the little nod towards Luke's occupation in the books. The owning a bookshop. So that was good. Those little bits and pieces I love, because it shows that the people who made the show have read the original content and have gone, right, we can't do this in our adaptation, but we can mention it later, so that the fans can go oh, look, he's owning a bookstore. Oh, it's the books. Oh, great. And, so you can know that they're still respecting the material, but they're doing it in a different way. And then you see all the comparisons of Isaiah, I can never pronounce his name, Isaiah's Old Spice commercial and the one with Magnus. Magnus's psychic tarot card reading, and I think that's just hilarious, because that's how one of the reasons why they know Isaiah so much. He's the Old Spice guy, and I didn't know what that was until I saw the commercial, and I was just like, oh my god. But yeah, I liked that wee tip of the hat. I thought it was very clever and very interesting. And something else I noticed was that in the advert, Luke was holding the book that Magnus later shows Clary, that he says has all the warlock spells in it. And I don't know if that's going to play in again later, but I'd be very interested to see if it does, like if Own Universe Magnus has the same book or something similar. Or it could be a reflection of the Grey Book later. We don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. On to the more deep stuff now, into the stuff that needs more talking about. We're going to talk about Alec's decision in tracking Jace with his parabatai bond. So I know a lot of you think that he is being selfish. Like I know that some of you understand that Isabel is his sister, but you think he's being dramatic or selfish in weakening his bond with Jace just to find him. But you're not considering what he's been through up to this point, especially by Jace. Jace is behaving in the TV show the exact same way he did in the book. Except in the TV show, the parabatai bond is actually getting attention, and it's being given the importance that was bigged up in the books, but we never got to see. So we'll start with the official definition of a parabatai or a parabatai bond, courtesy of the Shadowhunter wiki. The parabatai bond is a pair of Nephilim warriors who fight together as lifelong partners, bound together by oath, regardless of their gender. Their bond is not reflected only by their closeness and their willingness to lay down their lives for one another, but also in oath, one shown in front of the council. Now, willingness to lay down their lives for one another. That's the bit that I picked up on there, and Jace himself said that in the TV show. He said Alec would die for me in episode 3, I think it was. He said Alec would die for me. It's like, okay, Jace, but what about you? Would you die for Alec? Because so far we haven't seen much of that. All we've seen is Jace saying, Alec, I need you. Alec, come here. Alec, do this. Alec, do that. Come on. We're parabatai. You need to do this. It's like, okay, Jace, but what about you? What are you doing? What are you giving back? And even Simon said it in episode 6. He said, you're treating him like a dog. But it didn't go anywhere. All he did was shout out, like, you don't get to talk about Alec. It's like, uh-oh, does someone not like it when someone's talking the truth? But to be honest, Simon had a point. And this isn't helping what's going on in Alec's life at the moment. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan of Alec, but we need to think about what's going on right now. His family are falling apart. Their family name is getting tarnished, and he has to marry this girl who actually turned out to be really nice, but it doesn't matter how nice someone is, if you don't want to marry them, especially if you're in the closet, then it's not going to make it any happier. It'll help that they're nice, but it's not going to make it any easier. And then they have Jace treating him like a doormat. Jace suddenly knowing about his feelings for him. Then he has his confusing, I'm not going to say feelings for Magnus yet, because they haven't really interacted enough for that, but maybe a strange attraction towards Malik? No, a strange attraction towards Magnus that he doesn't understand. And then there's Clary, who just came in like a tornado, just whirling around, shaking everything up. And I understand that she's trying to do what's right, but she's not going the right way about it. Like in the last episode, when she's not episode 10 but episode 9, when she said we're all downworlders tonight, it's like, okay, that's all well and good, Clary, but you didn't do much. You united them, which was great, but the werewolves showed themselves, the vampires showed themselves, even Isabel exposed herself. You exposed yourself to Alec. who is not going to report you for being involved in this. He's not going to do that to Jace. And you ran off with Mary Lorne and you disappeared and left everyone else to deal with the consequences. So yeah, sure, we're all downworlders tonight. My point is, Alec is going through a lot, and especially in episode 9 when Jace decides to go against him and then pulls the "come on, we're brothers, we're parabatai." That's not healthy for Alec to look to. And Alec is being an asshole at the moment, I know that. He's confused and he's doing what he thinks is right, but is actually not necessarily wrong, but not exactly the best way to go about things. My point is that Alec is trying. He's trying to do what's right, and he's trying to fix what everyone else is leaving behind. It's like Jace walks along and he breaks a vase and he walks on and Alec has to follow behind him and thinks, oh. And then he picks it up, picks all the pieces up off the ground, and he tries to piece them back together because Jace isn't going to look back. That's just the sort of person Jace is. And pulling the parabatai card was a very low blow. Like, what if Alec had done that? What if Alec had sat there and said, Jace, I need to do this, not just for Lydia, not just for myself, but I need to do it for our family name. We're a parabatai. Help me arrest Meliorn. How would that have went? Judging by Jace's character, he would have said no, just like Alec did. But the difference between Alec saying it and Jace saying it is that Jace has been saying it all series, while Alec has been saying yes most of the time. And the one time he says no, suddenly people explode going, he's such an asshole. He betrayed him. They're parabatai. They're brothers. Yes, they're parabatai, but just because you're a parabatai doesn't mean that you're going to let your other half walk all over you like you're a doormat, because there's a point where you say no. So that is why I think, especially when he found out that Jace stole the Mortal Cup, that he was just like, no, I'm helping my sister. Screw you, Jace. Screw you. Screw you betraying me. Screw everything. This is my sister we're talking about. I'm going to help her. And that led to his decision to weaken the parabatai bond to find Jace. And I've seen many people talking about how they didn't seem to get like Jace's reaction to when it happened, because sure, he felt the rune and he shouted Alec's name, but it was pretty much like, Alec! Okay, the pain's done. Huh? What? Who's Alec? Oh no, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I know Clary was an altered dimension and all that, but you could have got a little bit of worry. I mean, come on, Jace, crack a little bit of emotion up besides Clary. No, I'm just kidding. The way he was in episode 9 was very good when Alec did say no. I liked that. That was good. But I feel like Alec was completely reasonable in his decision. This is his sister we're talking about, not just anyone. His sister means the world to him, and he would do anything to help her. He's not going to let her get stripped of her marks just because it might weaken his bond with Jace. To Alec, everyone else is more important than he is, especially his family. So he has had enough of Jace's shit, and he's taking a stand and he's saying, no, this is for my sister. So I don't feel like he was unreasonable at all. But that's just my opinion and my view of things. And I feel like, despite the fact I'm not reviewing the books, I think it actually matched up with the books really well. I can't say why, because it's bits and pieces from future books that haven't been touched on in the show yet, but it definitely matched. The ending. The ending. Wow. Although, as I said in my first thoughts, I saw it coming because I saw the promotional pictures for episode 11 on Tumblr, but I have a theory, and I think a lot of people agree with this theory, because they said, Clary said, if I go through this portal, I will find my dad. And they were just like, yeah, go on through there. Yeah, it'll be there, just think of your dad. So she thought of her dad, she went through, and all of a sudden, Jace's dad is there instead. I mean, we all knew that that Lydia disguising herself as Valentine might have been foreshadowing. So there's this theory that's bouncing around that it is actually Valentine disguised as Michael Wayland, Jace's dad, and is trying to trick them in some way. It's actually, some people suspect it's actually a hint towards the plot point that's going to come at the end of the season. If you've seen the movie, you know what it is, and if you've read the books, you obviously know what it is. But I'm not going to say in case you haven't done either. But there's a twist, if you will, at the end of the book, and at the end of the movie that some people think that this is the beginning of the setup for in the show. So if it is, that would be very interesting, especially the way they're going about it. But I'm definitely prepared to see where it goes, because the show has proven itself to be well capable of portraying the material and the characters really well. The only problem I would say I have is Alec's injury. The Forsaken injury thing didn't seem to go anywhere, although there's this common consensus that maybe he didn't want to apply, I'm not going to say it because I can't pronounce it, a healing rune, because he wanted to punish himself. Although I'm kind of like, I understand that Alec is very hard on himself, but I don't think he's a masochist. But maybe could have been, we don't know. But maybe it will play in the final 3 episodes. We don't know yet. But so far it just sort of went, oh yeah, he's hurt. Nothing. But that would be the only problem I have. But yeah, as I said in First Thoughts, I thought it was a very solid episode, and there were so many things to talk about. If you want to hear my thoughts on the alternate universe, then just hop on over to the First Thoughts video. And if you disagree with anything I've said, I'm willing to talk about it. I love discussing and debating these things. But remember, no flames or fighting. I know people always say like, oh, send me flames and I'll roast marshmallows. Send me flames and I'll get exhausted. Because that's just how it works with me. I hate fighting with people, as unlikely as it seems, because if you ever see me around on the YouTube comments, I always seem to be arguing with people. But that's the thing, I mainly only comment if I see something that I really don't agree with. But yeah, please don't send me flames. If you do, it's just going to turn into a big exhausting ordeal, and I'm going to be tired, and you're going to get tired of fighting with me. And I'll probably get tired of fighting with you, but I am willing to debate anything. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episode and your analysis of what's going on. So just send me a comment or a private message, or follow me on Tumblr or Instagram or whatever. You can see the links on my channel up in the wee corner thing. And I also have a Facebook page called Keep Calm and Ship Malik, which I will link in the description if you want to. I'm looking for admins at the moment. I'm having an admin search, so if you're interested, just apply, send me a message, and see you next week with my first thoughts on Blood Calls to Blood, I think it's called, episode 11, where Isabel goes to trial. So that'll definitely be interesting, and I can't wait to talk about it, and I can't wait to see what happens and have a deeper analysis of it. So till then, Shadowhunters, bye!
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me.